Welcome back to Round Rock, Texas. Ultiworld's continuing live stream coverage of the USA Goaltimate National Championships. We're reaching the end of the weekend. This is the women's final coming up between Kansas City Mahomies, the defending champs, and the challengers, the Dallas Austin collective known as Daxel. I'm Edward Stevens here with James Kim on an overcast, windy, but high-spirited afternoon here in Round Rock. We are about to get underway. Mahomies are going to start with the disc as they attempt to defend their title for the third year.
This is going to be such a good game. We got the home team Daxel versus the two-time reigning champs Casey Mahomies. I mean, you know how they say in the NFL, they got script writers or they don't. I promise we don't at USA Goaltimate, but this is going to be great to watch.
I think they've been working overtime. We've got so much narrative potential here. You just know that they've got somebody like, Joyce Carol Oates working hard behind the scenes to write it well.
Casey in the white against Daxel in the black. Steph up with the disc.
Yeah, Mahomies get out and have their first clear on a solid catch. Christine Baker and Steph Rupp working the disc. Huge catch by the sidelines. I believe that was Claire France. It's hard to see everybody's face at this point now that the beer garden is, that's Claire France catching the disc on the sideline.
Amazing layout.
France and Baker behind the disc here on Casey's first scoring attempt. The Mahomies have been excellent all weekend long. We saw them take apart the Sacramento team yesterday on the stream. They beat Atlanta Goatley in the semifinals to get here. Steph Rupp with the disc, leaning over. Stall has been called here. It felt like a stall. What do you think, James?
Yeah, it felt like one too. We don't hear the numbers here, but feeling is as good as we can go by.
Feeling was not good enough on the field, though. They played it as a contest. Rupp resets. It's with Baker in the center. Baker looking for France. France with their third layout of the game comes up just shy.
Yeah, just some background for the viewers who may not be able to see everything, but you can see now on the left side of the screen, the beer garden is back up. Much of the tournament has concluded. This is the final. The next round is the men's final, and so you can imagine that 99% of the tournament is here to see who brings home the crown in 2024.
Daxel working it around the clear box, going on their first true attacking attempt of the day. Disc with Drea Esparza there, working with Laura Geringer in the backfield. You can see the two of them working in the backfield together for the Austin Torch. A lot of these Daxel players play with the Torch.
Incredible moves there by Dre on those fakes. Try to move the mark, find the openings.
Yeah, there's no such thing as an O-line and D-line here in Goalty, but this, if there were, would have to be the Daxel O-line of Elise Bjork, Anna Highsmith, Drea Esparza, and Laura Geringer. You're not going to find too many more sure-handed foursomes in the Goalty game.
And an uncharacteristic drop there by Cami. It happens, though, in these conditions.
Yeah, you see Cami Groom recently made the USA National Worlds team, not for the first time in her career, in Big Field Ultimate Frisbee, out here playing in the finals of Little Field Goaltimate. V. Coombs working around. Free look for Austin. That disc catches some wind and sails out of bounds.
Yeah, that was, I saw exactly what the thrower saw on that. There was an opening there. It was possible. The execution was the only issue, and it was such a difficult throw to make.
Yeah, Carrie Younce had made the cut, but going upwind like that, we're going to see some throws catch the wind. Carrie Younce, excuse me. We're going to see some throws like that catch the wind and sail, and it's going to be on these teams to regroup and adjust every time it happens.
I believe there are two sisters on Casey Mahomies, is that correct?
Yeah, that's Somya Ragathama on the field now. Her sister JJ made a ton of great plays yesterday. Should be on the field shortly. Baker with the disc, up to France. Courtney Walby resets back to France now as Casey go on the attack. Mahomes doing a good job spacing. You see their cutters lurking behind, and they work a perfect pick and roll there. That was Ragathama. Somya Ragathama sets the pick and then rolls free to the pocket for an easy score. Brilliant offense from Mahomes. That's why they're the defending champs, folks.
That was exactly right. That was a roll right there, and they're the first to get on the board 1-0.
Steph Rupp pushing the pace now.
Caitlin Lisk on the disc.
Back to Rupp, about midfield. Daxel setting a wall against it. Bjork almost gets a hand on that pass.
So you see what they're doing here. Casey is trying to set some picks in the back of the apex, and that's a really interesting strategy. It's one that some teams can do very effectively. And this wins, I don't know.
You know, I believe they got another isolated receiver in space there. They just didn't have a way beyond the front wall of the Daxel defense to get the throw there. But you're going to see them go back to that well time and time again as Amanda Skittles Johnson picks that one up off the dirt to save possession for KC.
Great reflexes there by Skittles.
KC here with a 1-0 lead with just under 10 minutes left in the first half. Disc with Cami Groom, sends it ahead to Skittles. Skittles thinks about a shot and thinks better of it. Works it around to Nadine Rowan.
That's tough.
And another high pass into the wind.
It was the shape of that throw, right? It was the angle at which it was released out of the thrower's hands. As soon as that was up, that was going to be eaten up by the wind.
Ivy Bun comes onto the field for the first time for this Daxel squad. Picks up the disc. Around to Gerenscher. Working up the right side of the field now. KC defense in a kind of a triangle in the middle of the field, picking up cutters as they move. Skittles almost gets a hand on that. Gerenscher, long pass up to Coombs. Back to Yun.
Looks like this Casey Mahomes defense is trying to sort of implement the wall.
Yeah, they were close to a goaltend there. Coombs puts a shot out to space in the back of the cone, but Bjorn can't find a way around Johnson to make her way there to make the catch.
And 3 players on, as soon as the disc was turned over, 3 players on Mahomes immediately subbed off. Get 3 new fresh legs in there to play this offensive shift.
Groom with a high release flick to JJ Ragathama for the clear. Up to France, over the head, it's tipped. And the D is secured.
Team D there by Daxel.
Yeah, great awareness by the other Daxel defender to make sure not to quit after the first tip. There was going to be a play there if she didn't get there. All right, you're down 1-0. You're Daxel, right? You're playing the defending champs. Things aren't going too wrong for you. What are you thinking in your head as Bjork snatches that one out of the air? What a nifty play.
You're just thinking, continue doing the same things you're doing. Keep working at it, but execution, again, throws and catches, you got to be dialed in. And it's just a focus issue, right? I'm not saying they're not focused. I'm just saying that it's not necessarily like you can make any other adjustments necessarily or that they're necessary. Everyone's got to be dialed in.
Right now, Mahomes looking dialed in. Great scoring attempt just off the hands of Caitlin Lisk there in the scoring area. Exactly the kind of play they wanted. We've seen a number of good offensive moves. They are well drilled in setting up isolation plays in the goal area. That one not successful, though.
They really are, and you sort of see a contrast, right, between the last game, Boston and Seattle both playing a little bit more improvisationally. Looks like KC has definitely drilled their stuff.
Yeah, we see Coombs posted up. Probably had a good shot to get a scoring pass if Esparza could have handled that reset. Didn't happen this time. Coombs sets a double team. Good bid attempt there. Skittles across to Lisk, and then back to Skittles for the reset.
Caitlin with a great cut there to get the disc back.
Caitlin Lisk, we said yesterday on the stream, but worth reminding viewers today, is one of the 4 organizers of this tournament, part of the committee that puts this tournament on, and here playing in the final as well. Claire France eyeing for possibilities. Gets it right back after a quick reset for the count and has a wide open Caitlin Lisk for the goal. It's 2-0 KC over Daxel.
So easy, so casual there. You know, sort of like we saw at the last point of the last game. The defense just left the front of the barn door open on that one. So of course the offense is just going to take it.
I think at goaltee it's so hard to predict what's going to happen next, but as you're experienced, that throw just outside the goal area for Daxel as they work on answering these 2 KC points. But as you get experience, another one just off the tips, and there goes the parabola down. A lot of great effort. The beer garden appreciates the effort as the players put the sandbags back up.
Yeah, as we see that replay, player tumbles into the pole. Interestingly enough, now while the pole is up, it is leaning pretty far the other direction, but you know, that's the best they can do, and you're going to play with it.
Yeah, we're getting a bit of a lean there, responding to the wind and the contact. Daxel on the attack again. They had 2 great chances last possession. You feel like if they can keep this level of offensive execution up, they're going to get on the board sooner rather than later.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. That disc was almost caught by the back of that Daxel player's leg.
Yeah, I believe that was Anna Highsmith going for the unconventional no-finger catch there. It slides off at the last second.
If you're Texas, you want to get on the board here.
Ragathama working with Groom. Centers to Rupp. Rupp with great position here. Doesn't have a receiver open yet. Wisely resets. Tries to go over the top. Andrea Esparza says, not in this house.
Great D there.
Yun up to Esparza with a blade. Bit too much mustard on that sandwich.
A little bit too much. Steph Rupp now about to pick up the disc from the back of the clear zone with about 3.5 minutes remaining.
We're counting half seconds here now, folks.
A lot of those left.
Lisk working with Baker on some quick movement down the sideline. They finally get it around the other way with France and Rupp. Rupp hits France on a chisel cut. Centers to Baker.
See Caitlin.
Leans over. What a throw by Rupp to hit the 2-step cut from Lisk.
So what I saw there was Caitlin lurking in the back of the end zone, and immediately as the disc gets within shooting range, enters the end zone. Perfect opportunity cut there for the goal.
Great timing, and just like that, KC Mahomes take a 3-0 lead here in the final. They're on the attack again. Johnson with the disc, works it around to France. France back to Baker, back to France. France wants a shot here. Lisk comes back for a reset. Great mark here. Lisk has to fake 3 times to get the throw around. France shows the blade, decides to do a soft reset instead. It's over to Skittles. Skittles with the quick throw into France for a score. KC are on a roll here.
So the way that happened was that, yet again, there's the pick set at the very back of the hoop. There's a pick set there, and the other player will enter just as Caitlin did on the previous goal. So both of that happening in tandem opens up an easy cutter for the scorer.
The players stop there. They hear the double horn blast. Of course, that means there's 2 minutes left in the half. Courtney Walby, after some quick movement, tiptoes her way across to the pocket for another Kansas City score. This is excellent Goaltimate.
Amazing. Look at that. You know, that we've sort of talked about, right, in situations where if you're not sure if something is a goal, then you have to stay dialed in. I think mentally everyone sort of stopped because of that double horn blast, forgetting what happened. The defense was a little bit more discombobulated than the offense, who took the opportunity to go up 5-0.
Yeah, everybody but Courtney Walby sliding in there like thread through the eye of a needle. Bit of a discussion on the field about whether there was a strip on Kansas City's ensuing possession. Kansas City retained possession. They play it as a contest. Kami Groom steps low to center the pass with a flick. Walby with the disc again. looking for the scoober after her own score. Ragathama can't hang on.
I saw what Ragathama was trying to do there around the disc. A little bit of contact, that's fine, but trying to throw and go was very close on that.
Highsmith gets the disc into the clear zone for Coombs. A little nod of the head to indicate what she wants. It's safe to say throwing that high flick into the wind was not what they were looking for on that possession for Daxel.
Nope, that's sometimes how the cookie crumbles.
About 30 seconds left in the half, maybe more like 20 now. KC have the disc and are likely to have at least a 5-point lead. Potentially 6 if they can get this possession moving quickly enough.
Yeah, Casey continuing to work really hard, not let off the gas at all. Everyone's running, everyone's moving. And that is how the first half is going to end here.
Cami Groom looked off 2 potential shots, didn't see an opening, held on. That'll work when it's not a time game, but time blew on her. We come to the end of the first half. Kansas City having commanding 5-0 lead over the hometown Austin Daxel side. James, exciting stuff so far, particularly from the Mahomies. We'll see if Austin can get back in it here in the second half. We'll be back with you after about a 2-minute break here at the USA Goaltimate National Championships.
Goaltending. Defense is hard. And though it would be a lot easier if you could just hang out in the hoop, there's a no goaltending rule in Goaltimate. If a defensive player remains in the goal area or paint for more than 3 seconds without being within arm's length of any offensive player, that's goaltending.
Goaltending, goaltending, goaltending.
If goaltending is called in the defense,
Goaltending, goaltending, goaltending.
play stops, and the disc is placed at the brick, the apex of the key area. If a defensive player guarding one player in the hoop sees another attacking offensive player and moves to guard them instead, this is not goaltending as long as the defender's switch is under 3 seconds and is actively guarding the new receiver. Players may double team or triple team any player at any time, even in the goal area, if they are actively guarding an offensive player. How do you score in Goaltimate? 1 point is awarded for a completed pass that travels through the hoop and is caught in the end zone by a teammate. It's important that the disc completely breaks the plane of the hoop. A catch where the player's first point of contact is inside the goal area, but their momentum carries them forward without breaking the plane of the hoop is not considered a goal. Receivers may also catch the disc outside the goal, as long as their first point of contact is inside the goal area. So what happens if a receiver or the disc hits the goal when completing a pass? The goal still counts. What doesn't count as a score?
No score!
No score will be awarded if the thrower breaks the plane of the goal when throwing. If this happens, the receiver maintains possession and play continues. Receivers cannot straddle any line related to the goal area.
Welcome back to the second half of the women's division final as the Dallas-Austin Daxel side try to come back down 5-0 against the defending champions Kansas City Mahomies. It was an eventful interval here in between the halves here, James.
Yeah, I mean, we were the stars of the show for once and not on purpose, as the tent above our heads flipped over, even though it was secured down by tent weights. Flipped over, we are now exposed to the elements here, just as the players are.
Daxel on the attack here. They shoot goal, it goes around, disc is tipped, but they retain possession. Quick whip of a scuba attempt from Esparza there, gets knocked down. Not quite enough height on that to get past the KC defense. Good stuff though from Daxel, exactly what you want to see. They haven't managed to get on the board yet. KC pitching a shutout. All right, down 5-0. This is it. This is the reason why you're here as a team, to try to win this championship. We've seen Daxel come out with a lot of energy. What more do you want to see other than energy at this point in the game?
I want to see takeaways. You got to take this disc away. You have a 5th defender. You have the wind. It's on your side in the sense that wind just makes offense difficult, right? Casey is doing a good job with it, but at the same time, you've got to generate this pressure, get this disc back, because otherwise, by losing the time of possession game, you're also losing this game as well.
KC attempt to score. Good foot there by Bien to knock it out of the way. Another thing KC have on their side, other than just the 5-goal lead at this point, is experience. They've been in this championship game and won it 2 times already. How does that play into your mentality on the field if you know you can win this game because you've done it before?
That's a great question. You are confident. I think that's the word. There's a lot of confidence that you feel. The most important part, of course, as any player of the sport knows, is that the mentality and the morale, it's a fine line. You don't want to get overconfident. You don't want to get arrogant, and you don't want to put your foot off the gas. Right as we see a hand block by Daxel to get the disc back in the clear zone, they will already be clear when they pick up.
Yeah, that was Anna Highsmith using her whole wrist to knock that one out of the way. Great defense by Baker on Esparza, but face guarding, can't see when the throw goes up. Esparza gets it anyway.
Esparza running the entire length of the field there.
Absolutely. Highsmith working to shoot for Gerenscher. You have to like this shot-taking mentality that they have.
Yeah, and you also got to like the double team that they just applied there on Cami in the backfield. They have to get the disc back.
Good stuff from Walby, working with Ragathama, centering to France. They still need the clear. Great pressure from Daxel to force a tough throw. Walby can come up with those sometimes, but she didn't get it there, and it was thanks to all the pressure.
Yeah, so I'm sort of feeling the pendulum shift a little bit in the second half in terms of Texas is applying this pressure. They are getting more takeaways. They're getting possession a little bit more. It will be interesting to see what happens in this last half.
One thing you cannot underestimate, though, and that's the closing speed of Cami Groom when you have a pass in the air. You've got to absolutely make sure she is out of range, and her range is different than any other player out here on defense.
Again, another unforced error there by KC, and right there in the clear zone. Let's see if Daxel could do something with it.
Working up the right-hand side of the field, now back to the center. This is an important possession. They need to get on the board quickly. They need to try to get 2 points on the board quickly. That's what's going to keep them in this game. Staying down 5 and giving Kansas City an opportunity to go up 6 or 7-0 will put this out of reach. And that is not the right shape on that throw. It would have been on a still day, but on a windy day like this, the wind caught the underside of the disc, pushed it well out of the path of the receiver. And Casey now have an easy clear because of it.
If this turf was water and if we were on sailboats, that's exactly what you want to do, is expose the sail to that side to just have your boat move in that direction.
Really like the cut of your jib, James. Mistake there from Mahomes. Give Daxel another chance. Here, Coombs up ahead to Highsmith. Back to Coombs for the clear. Coombs thought about the long cross field throw, thought better of it given the wind conditions, found Esparza instead.
Good job by Esparza to get the disc off the line. Better to be on that right side of the screen rather than the left if you're the offense here.
Good knifing flick, great catch by Coombs to come up with it. Resets to Esparza, wants the disc back, gets the disc back. Finds Esparza again. Had a good window for a give and go cut. I feel like they missed an opportunity there.
In this situation, again, every thrower's got to cut, every cutter's got to throw. Otherwise, the defense is going to key in on what you're doing.
Scuba attempt by Esparza into the wind. Goes towering as high as some of the light posts here before getting knocked down by 2 Mahomes defenders. Light double team there by Esparza and Gerenscher. Nifty catch for the clear. but this pressure keeps generating turnovers. I love the energy that Dallas Austin have come out playing with.
Yeah, and oh my.
Great shot by Bjork. Esparza cannot find it. It coasted right behind her head, waiting to be plucked out of the sky. And Esparza just couldn't get eyes on it to figure out where to put her hand.
And again, that's exactly why you want to have this field orientation, as tough as it is, than the other way around. There's going to be opportunities when the disc floats, just like we saw there.
That's right. Throwing upwind, you do sometimes give yourselves a precious second or even two of time for your receiver to make a grab when it gets held up inside the scoring area. Brilliant defense there, cutting across, erasing the quick swing attempt. All of the energy is on Daxel's side. They don't have the lead. They're not close to having the lead, but they do have the intensity they need to claw back into this game.
Wow, I believe that is Dax. It looks like they are not playing it as in.
Yeah, I believe that was a straddle there by Bjorn. Had her feet splayed out wide. Big scoring attempt there. Another unsuccessful.
The crowd really wanted that as a goal, and after they continued to play, there was some boos, some discontent there, but I think the right call.
Yeah, the right call was made. You can't cave into the masses here. France with the disc. More tight pressure from Austin. They seem to have gone more to a matchup set. Some switches, but mostly just playing tight. Let's see if they settle into a wall here. No, they're staying matchup. Isolation in the end zone. Walby trying to get open. Made a nice sort of swim move there. Couldn't do anything but come back for the reset. Great defense from Dallas Austin.
This person switching defense, person defense is doing so well. Forces that offhand by Cammy that is stonewalled at the front.
Yep, absolutely. Hit the brakes on that throw, hit the brakes on that possession. More great defense. And as good as it is, though, it won't matter unless they can score. Great work there by Bjork and Garancher to split the defender, get free for a reset pass out of the clear box.
To the extent that there's been a pivotal time with 6.5 minutes left and Texas not having scored once, for them to score perhaps once every minute to win this game. If they're going to do that, it's got to happen here.
That is a remarkable rate of scoring, and they are on the board. Lovely step around backhand, almost a reverse pivot to find Bjork over on one side of the parabola. Nice stuff here. They're on the board. They're finally rewarded for all their hard work.
Yeah, love to see that. If you're Daxel, you feel a little bit better. 4 points is less of a lead than 5, of course, but you got to keep moving fast. You cannot keep your foot off the gas here.
Oh, Bjork thinks she has a free reset, but Nadine Rowan, sticks out a hand almost without looking to bat away that pass. More pressure, gets another turn.
Daxel is going to have these opportunities. It's just important to see what they do with it. Everyone's got to cut, everyone's got to throw. They've got to keep moving. They have to force this because it's Casey's game to lose.
Good pressure from Ragathama. Bjorn stays with it. Esparza figuring out her options, finds Bjorn back to Esparza. Great fake there, had me looking. Esparza up to Bjorn, great hands. That disc jumped at the last second.
This player is so comfortable with the disc.
That throw did not have enough heat on it to work its way upwind to where Esparza was. I saw the window, but the conditions weren't going to allow it.
Yeah, only so many rotations on that disc, right, when it was released. And in this wind, those last few rotations will cause it to just flutter and bobble.
Rupp taps in, tries to beat the double team, but can't do it. And once again, as they have been all half, Daxel are on the attack. This half has been all of them. What a grab there by Highsmith, leading down for the Scoober, and they're rewarded with another score. This has been a tremendous half of Ultimate. With 4 minutes left, they've cut the lead to 5-2.
This is incredible. again, you know, we are seeing sort of the point by point, minute by minute at this point that you want to see if you're Daxel. This is the only way that you can do it.
And as you can hear from the crowd getting into this game, they know the comeback attempt is officially on. Nice play by Claire France to hold on to that disc with Bjork pressuring behind her. Foul called on the throw. Looks like Kansas City will retain possession. They're talking about it.
You know, if you're Daxel, you want this to be a very short conversation. Even if they keep the disc, if that's going to happen anyway, just let them have it.
Yeah, with 3.5 minutes left. So far, they have been scoring at almost a goal a minute since you let them know what the rate would be.
Yeah, what was that, the opposite of the commentator's curse you mentioned yesterday, Edward?
That would be the Chatterer's Charm, James.
Chatterer's Charm.
You've got it.
I mean,
Wearing your rabbit's foot.
Twice in 2 days. I don't know. Maybe I did.
Not quite clear yet. Maybe still not quite clear there. Garinger gets it over the line, works it with Bjork. Bjork looks to the right side of the field, goes back Garinger to the center.
That was a huge pivotal gainer there.
Great play by France to pluck that errant throw out of the air. Bjork was coming in to clean up the trash, but France pulled up in the recycling truck to get there first.
That's not great. Honestly, what we saw there, that throw, I mean, if you're KC, I think you play possession. We haven't really seen them play a keep-away style, even though they've been up for a while.
Long throw from Esparza there, erased by Johnson at the last second. That was a dangerous throw. KC, yeah, you're right. The end of the Daxel and who did they play where they played keep away essentially to the end of the game and just milked the clock? If
right.
KC would do that to them, KC could win this game running away as we hear the 2-minute horn blast.
And we're seeing a little bit of that right now. We've definitely seen almost double-digit passes on this completion, on this possession. Caitlin Liss with the disc in a place where they could try to shoot it, but why try? How about just complete everything?
Cameron pivots once, pivots twice, pivots 3 times, nowhere to go. Back to France. France with a buttery biscuit up in the air on the high shelf for Johnson. Can't quite bring it down.
Just to counter what I just said, also you gotta love a KC team that continues to shoot, right? They'd rather try to put that extra one up, go up 6-2. The best defense is good offense.
Yeah, they played all their defense in the first half by scoring 5 points if that's the case.
Great double team.
Yeah. Austin has been really good about setting double teams on the sideline this half. Almost a single-minded focus on making sure there are no easy throws. And that's why they've been winning the game clock battle this half by a staggering margin.
Wow.
That's another great catch.
That was incredible. The way Elise was able to keep that disc up in the air, but the craziest thing, I think we all saw it, as the disc hit the hoop, it just hung there, just right around the hoop for a split second.
Grinding like Tony Hawk on a rail.
Elise again with the big shot try. They are trying for these twos. That's smart.
Yeah, they understand the clock situation. They know what they have to do. With 22 seconds left, this could be the end. They're in 1-point zone, but there is the horn. A tremendous comeback attempt from Daxel falls short as Kansas City Mahomes, on the strength of a 5-0 first half, hold on for their 3rd consecutive national championship. James, has Goaltimate ever seen anything like this?
I don't know that it has. This is an incredible accomplishment. Let's take a second and fully savor this from the point of view of a viewer, participant. To repeat 3 different times, all of these teams are so good. These players are so good. And for them to do it, and not just them, if you were to ask any Ultimate player, hey, name a city that you think is going to three-peat in Goaltimate, no one would say Kansas City, but now you can't not think about them.
Yeah, watch your backs, Middlebury Pranksters, UNC Pleiades, UNC Darkside. We've got a new member of the three-peat club, and it's here at Goaltimate Nationals. Kansas City Mahomies wrap up the final with a 5-2 victory over Dallas Austin Daxel. For James Kim, I'm Edward Stevens. We'll be back for the men's final soon.